this video, we're going to take a look at the student experience when they are taking online tests in Focus. So here I'm logged in as a student. I'm using the sandbox, so it's not the live environment, but everything else is pretty much going to be the same as the live environment. Now, any available online tests are going to be under the alerts box. So here we can see that I have two available tests. I have Chapter 3 test and I have AP-ME Chapter 1 test. The AP-ME I know is my AP Macroeconomics course, but the Chapter 3 test doesn't indicate what class it's associated with. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit to show you. These are the student courses and the grades. Now, I think that the Chapter 3 test is the biology. So if I want to check, I can come in here and click the grade for biology, which is going to bring me to the assignments page. And sure enough, there's the Chapter 3 test. I wanted to bring you here to show you that when the students view their assignment page, they can see that there's a test, but this is not a clickable link. See, I'm clicking in each of these fields. Nothing is clickable. This is not where the student comes to take the test. I'm going to click portal and come back to the portal. They have to click the test link that's available under alerts only. If the due date is passed, the test will not be available, so the student cannot take it. Okay, so now I'm going to click Chapter 3 tests, and the teacher associated a pin with this test. This is nice because you can publish the test ahead of time, but the students can't take it until you give them the pin. So the pin for this test was friends. So I'm going to click Start. And here you can see that in the banner at the top, I can increase the font because as the teacher, I made this one of the options for the student to increase the font. There's also a flag here if I would like to flag the question. I can come back and check my flagged questions later on. Section 1 is the name of the section, and notice the teacher did not put any information other than that it says Section 1. You could put some brief instructions here if you chose to. So the student chooses the answer, and then they click Next to move on to the next question. And they're going to just move through their questions until they finish the test. So as the student moves through and answers all the questions, they can choose to jump to different questions by clicking Go To. So if I wanted to jump to question 17, I can just jump to question 17. If I want to review the test, if I'm done taking it or I think I'm done, I want to review it or maybe go back and review any flagged questions, I can click Review. And here I can see that I flagged question 7. I can go directly to question 7 and review question 7. From the review, I can also see any questions that I haven't answered. So once all the questions are answered, the student will submit and exit. This alert opens up that basically says the answers are final, blank answers are submitted as unanswered. You cannot go back and change any answers. Are you sure you want to submit the test? And I will click OK. And it auto grades, and I scored an 8 out of 20. Well, I only answered 10 questions, so 8 out of 10 is not bad, but so I'm going to exit this test. I'm going to go look at the other tests that's available. Now, notice that this test is the only test that is left available. So I'm going to click this so we can take a look and see what the teacher, some of the options the teacher included on this test. So this test pin is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Click Start. And up the top here, I can see a lot more options that the teacher made available to me. I can increase the font. There is a clock, so it's telling me how much time I have remaining. So if you were to choose to restrict the test to just during class time, the students would get a countdown timer here letting them know how much time they have left in that test. So then I also have this feature here, which is the scratch pad. So this is great, especially if it's a math test. You can choose to include the scratch pad. Here's a calculator. This is the strikeout feature. So if I want to just mark off answers I know are incorrect, I can just choose the strikeout and strike out the answers that are incorrect. Helps with test taking, those types of skills. And then, of course, I can flag the question. So these are the options that are available. And again, the student would just work their way through the test. So now we're back on the student portal. And I wanted to point out to you that if you've allowed students to retake a test, however much time you allowed between the tests, so I think for this one I just set 5 minutes. So now this test is available for retake. However, say it wasn't, it's not there, and the student wants to view their answers. So you set the review time. If you allow the student to review their test, in 1 or 2 days later, they have to wait. But if you did not set any review time, they'll be able to immediately see their test. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to click on the grade. And here's the test. And I can view the test answers. So this allows me to see the answers I chose as well as the incorrect answers. So it's important as a teacher to maybe give a day or two review so that the correct answers are not out there for students to share with other students. Or if you're allowing them to take retakes, maybe not allow the correct answers for a few days or at least until after the due date for the assignment. I'm going to click back on the student portal. And so that is the student experience when taking online tests.